Hi guys, so I've said before there's a thin line between Brexiteer and fascist, and I think a number of them have already eliminated that difference. Sir Edward Leigh appeared happy to blur the line on Monday when he called what is happening in the Channel a quote-unquote national emergency, and he called for the suspension of human rights. He also deliberately misrepresented the difference between asylum seekers and economic migrants. Now, the response from Priti Patel will not exactly make most feel any better. Let's hear what they had to say.
Edward Leigh.
We told the people at the referendum, us Brexiteers, that we would take back control. It's clear that in this we have lost control. If you tell the most desperate economic migrants in the world that we will provide a free border service, taxi service across the Channel, we will never deport you, we will put you up in a hotel as long as you like, is it any wonder that more and more come? This is now a national emergency. Will the Home Secretary bring in Emergency Powers Act to override the Human Rights Act if necessary and put these people in secure accommodation now?
So, first of all, he says to overwrite the Human Rights Act, which is based on the European Convention on Human Rights. So he wants to suspend human rights for people who are crossing the Channel, who are attempting to seek asylum in the UK. Now, of course, he says economic migrants. What he's talking about here, of course, is asylum seekers. And then he says secure accommodation. Well, secure accommodation is a euphemism for prison. He wants them incarcerated. He wants them put in jail.
Otherwise, we won't solve the problem.
Well, Mr. Speaker, let me just say to my right honourable friend, first of all, he will be very well versed in the work that we are doing through the Borders and Nationality Bill, which speaks to the very points that the honourable gentleman has been making around asylum, around processing, around deportation, around fast-track removals, and importantly, around making sure that we break the business model of those traffickers who are smuggling people into the United Kingdom. Now, I've always said, Mr. Speaker...
Just to advise, please, just 1 second. Just to advise, it's easier to go through this chair, not through the member, just to help each other. Thank you.
Apologies, Mr. Speaker. As I was referring to, Mr. Speaker, the new plan for immigration and the Borders and Nationality Bill, that these changes are pivotal to absolutely bring a comprehensive reform to the entire system. There is no single solution to this, and that is why this bill is so important, and that is why I know that all honourable members on this side of the House will absolutely back the bill, which is a stark contrast to the benches opposite.
Okay, of course she has to attack the Labour Party. Now, Priti Patel is in a bit of a bother at the moment because she's losing support within the Conservative Party and she's losing support with voters. The Conservative Party are being branded as, if you can believe this, branded as being weak when it comes to dealing with migration and asylum seekers. Many people on the right and on the far right of the Conservative Party and its supporters want her to be tougher, want her to send the Navy, jet skis, wave machines, nets, all sorts of things. These all have to be deployed to stop people from crossing the Channel. They want the military deployed, British Army soldiers deployed in France to deal with this issue. Insane suggestions. And she understands that, or I presume she understands that since Brexit, it's more difficult for her to deport people. So many people are arriving in the UK knowing that it's more difficult for them to be deported, and they're taking advantages of this situation. And her solution is what? Well, I'm going to see about sending people to Albania or to other countries around the world for processing off-site, offshore processing. But that's not going to work, it seems. You're going to end up paying huge amounts of money to these countries. You're not going to be in control of how the processing takes place. And what is the end result of that? Yes, it's just an attempt to convince the public that you're doing something about it. See, the problem for the Conservative Party is this. They have to maintain this problem because they know that it's a vote winner with racists and the right. But they can't fix the problem, because if they fix the problem, then they eliminate the benefit of having this issue as a problem. They have to maintain the problem because it's a vote winner, but as soon as they fix the problem, then they will lose support. So instead, what they do is they try to maintain this balance of, yes, there is this serious problem, people coming across the sea, but we're going to fix it. No one else is going to fix it. But at the same time, they're concerned that the likes of Nigel Farage or others will form parties and siphon votes away from the Conservative Party in a general election. So they know that the Labour Party are not going to win over voters, but they're afraid of other movements or other parties taking votes away from the Conservatives on this particular issue. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.